Good days and bad days. Are these two headed for divorce?
Did Ryan Reynolds ditch Blake Lively at the premiere of Another Simple Favor to save his own career?
Strangers describe me as
Extremely disloyal.
Blake Lively is in tears as Ryan Reynolds has officially decided to divorce her, right in the midst of the scandals she's been caught up in, pulling him along with her.
That's so gross and weird and manipulative, even if it's true.
Ryan's just doing what he does best, cutting people off the second they're no longer useful to him.
No one knew who he was beforehand. Everyone knows who he is now. If he is a smart sociopath, he'll work that to his advantage.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, the so-called golden couple of Hollywood, are officially crashing and burning, and honestly, it's long overdue. For years, these two had everyone fooled into thinking they were the ultimate relationship goals.
Lively and Reynolds, who once seemed like untouchable Hollywood darlings, can't seem to find their footing.
Blake with her fake sweet girl persona and Ryan playing the charming, funny husband, when in reality, they were just two ticking time bombs ready to explode on each other. Now, after everything that's gone down, their marriage is on life support, and honestly, no one's even surprised.
Ryan and Blake both now realize if their careers are to survive, they cannot be involved in the same project because everything will be heavily scrutinized.
At a February 2024 premiere, Blake Lively showed up solo, fake smiling so hard she probably strained a few face muscles. Meanwhile, Ryan Reynolds was completely MIA, not even a half-hearted Instagram story pretending to support her.
Now, insiders are spilling on the real reason why Ryan Reynolds left Blake Lively alone on the red carpet amid the Anna Kendrick beef, and it's all about money.
Nope, the man dipped completely. People weren't asking, "Where's Ryan?" because they missed him. They were asking because his absence was so loud it practically screamed, "I'm done with this mess."
It sounded awful, like to a point I'm like, damn.
Industry insiders spilled that Ryan's little vanishing act wasn't some random move. Oh no, this was a carefully calculated escape mission. After their total disaster of an appearance at the SNL 50th anniversary special, Ryan realized that sticking around Blake was basically career suicide. This wasn't a sudden change of heart. He'd been plotting his exit for a while.
So it's reported for months that they are separated, that Blake and Ryan do not live together, that they are in separate households.
He calculated every move like his $350 million net worth depended on it, because, spoiler alert, it does. With Deadpool 3 dropping in July 2024 and him basically being a one-man financial empire, there was no chance he was going to let Blake's dumpster fire of a reputation take him down with her.
I'm not entirely surprised that he didn't show up, to be perfectly honest, because this was Blake's contractually obligated appearance. She had to be there, guys.
Speaking of SNL, let's talk about just how badly they bombed that night. February 2024, Ryan and Blake rolled into the SNL 50th anniversary special acting like the world still adored them. Yeah, okay. Ryan even tried to play it cool with a joke. Why? What have you heard? When Amy Poehler called him out. But let's be real, the man looked like he was fighting for his life on live TV. That wasn't humor, it was pure panic in a punchline costume.
Oh, hey, that's Reynolds. Hi. How's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
The audience hit them with awkward side eyes, forced giggles, and yep, actual boos. Imagine spending years crafting your image as Hollywood's most lovable guy, only to get booed because your wife can't stop torpedoing her own career. Brutal.
But it was Lively's second public outing since she and husband Ryan Reynolds attended Saturday Night Live's 50th anniversary show in February. For the most part, the pair have been lying low, while their bitter legal battle against Lively's It Ends With Us director and co-star Justin Baldoni.
And let's not forget Blake's reaction to the whole SNL disaster. According to insiders, Homegirl lost her mind backstage, fuming that Ryan didn't have her back enough. Newsflash, Blake, you're not the victim here. You're the reason people are gagging. Apparently, she sees Ryan not as a husband, but as a glorified PR prop, like his entire purpose in life is to make her look good. She honestly thought he'd just sit there smiling like a trained poodle while her $400 million legal nightmare with Justin Baldoni spiraled out of control.
Reynolds filed a motion to dismiss the lawsuits on Tuesday, March 18th. Us reached out to Baldoni's lawyer for comment at the time. The entirety of Mr. Baldoni's case appears to be based on Mr. Reynolds allegedly privately calling Mr. Baldoni a predator.
Blake thought she could fake her way through the Another Simple Faker premiere too. She probably practiced that frozen smile for hours in the mirror, but the moment she stepped onto the red carpet without Ryan, it was game over. All anyone could talk about was the massive gaping Ryan-shaped hole beside her. She wasn't just alone physically, she was alone symbolically. And Blake knows better than anyone that in Hollywood, once people start seeing you alone, they start writing your career's obituary.
Blake had to show up for this. I'm sure she was contractually obligated to be there. And both of them, Anna and Blake, and I'm sure neither of them really wanted to be there, to be fair. But why wasn't Ryan there? I'm not surprised he wasn't there. I gotta be honest. He doesn't have to be there at every junket. Now,
Meanwhile, Ryan was out here playing chess while Blake was still trying to figure out how to set up the board. Sources say he deliberately stayed away, making it loud and clear he wanted no part of her scandals. Can you blame him? Blake's $400 million lawsuit against Baldoni exploded so badly that by March 2024, tabloids were already leaking that Ryan had quietly started prepping for divorce. And when I say prepping, I mean cleaning house, locking up endorsements, setting up Deadpool 3's marketing, and making sure he wasn't tied to Blake's flaming PR wreckage any longer than absolutely necessary.
Inside Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' relationship amid their legal battle. Good days and bad days. Are these two headed for divorce?
Now let's not pretend Ryan's some innocent little angel either. The man's estimated net worth is over $350 million, and every move he makes is about protecting that cash flow. Ryan wasn't missing from the premiere because he's shy or hates attention. No, he was missing because he finally realized that standing next to Blake in public was career kryptonite. After all, their SNL stunt already told him everything he needed to know. The public had officially turned on them.
and she knows that Ryan's career has so far survived the fallout. I would agree with that. It has. He's still going to be Deadpool. He's not going to lose gigs. I do think Blake will have a tougher time getting gigs.
The worst part, Blake couldn't even blame the audience's reaction on anything other than herself. Her performance on SNL was about as genuine as a reality TV star's wedding, and when the crowd didn't eat up her poor me act, she flipped out on Ryan like it was his fault. Sources say she basically demanded a full PR strategy overhaul after that night. Separate appearances, separate projects, separate everything. Not because they wanted to save their marriage, oh no, it was all about saving their money.
She does not want to have a family with no income, and she knows that Ryan's career has so far survived the fallout.
The damage control was so obvious, it was painful to watch. Blake thought she could just slap on a designer dress, pose for some photographers, and everyone would magically forget she's out here suing a man she allegedly threw herself at.
She really wanted her vision to be included in this.
She thought she could erase the fake voicemail scandal, the botched PR campaigns, and the growing mountain of evidence that she's not exactly the sweet little angel she plays on screen. Blake, no amount of red carpet appearances can fix the fact that the audience isn't buying what you're selling anymore.
Guys, we're going to break down why that is not true and how this filing is pure comedy and insanity. It literally contradicts itself, and it's not even admissible because of certain things that are in there.
Ryan's over here pretending like he's just too busy buying soccer teams or writing Deadpool jokes to show up for his wife. Please. The same guy who has time to troll Hugh Jackman for fun on Instagram suddenly can't spare an hour to support Blake at her movie premiere. Yeah, that's not a scheduling conflict. That's a man running for his life.
I didn't like him. Just gonna be straight with you. I didn't fucking like him. So they're both equally repulsive.
They misread the room. They really thought people would still root for them after everything that went down. Ryan and Blake aren't Hollywood's golden couple anymore. They are Hollywood's biggest cautionary tale. And the scariest part for them, this is just the beginning. Their little empire of fake laughs, fake smiles, and fake loyalty is crumbling faster than Blake's lawsuit defense.
Like I wasn't that surprised that Ryan wasn't there. It wasn't his movie. It was weird that Ryan was there and it ends with us. If he shows up to every one of our movies that has nothing to do with, I think it would be worse reaction. I do.
At the end of the day, Ryan knew exactly what he was doing by skipping that red carpet. He wasn't being petty. He was being strategic. The man built an entire career on being funny, likable, and unproblematic. Blake's the human equivalent of lighting a match next to a gas tank right now, and Ryan? He's just trying to get as far away from the explosion as possible before it blows out the last shred of goodwill he has left. Blake Lively, seriously. You can't just accuse someone, have receipts dropping left and right showing you were basically flirting like a teenager at a boy band concert, and expect the industry to stand and clap for you.
She seems like a bully. She was such a high-maintenance diva bully brat.
Blake Lively's flop era hit new heights when witnesses lined up like it was Black Friday, exposing her desperate, flirty texts to Baldoni, including the legendary "try it pregnant" comment. In February 2020, Baldoni clapped back with a $250 million lawsuit against the New York Times for pushing Blake's fabricated accusations. Hollywood insiders, smelling the disaster, ghosted Blake faster than Channel drops a clearance sale.
And the evidence that has been put out there to show that these people are an absolute abomination.
Meanwhile, Ryan Reynolds was out here getting blindsided by receipts of his wife drooling over another man's abs. And just when you thought it couldn't get messier, Taylor Swift floated in like the Queen of Chaos, allegedly helping plant the NT hit piece before pretending she barely knew Blake once the heat kicked in. Iconic moves.
I would argue even their solo projects are going to be scrutinized. You guys clearly aren't backing down. You're frustrated with them, and I hear why. I am too. If they really played the power moves that they did and lied.
But Taylor wasn't dumb enough to go down with Blake's sinking ship. Oh no, she did what she does best. Used the situation when it benefited her, then bolted faster than Ryan Reynolds at a Blake Lively movie premiere. By early 2020, Taylor was publicly distancing herself. No more cute squad photos, no more bestie selfies, just a whole lot of silence. Because even Taylor Swift, queen of media manipulation, knew Blake Lively was radioactive.
The issue is, yeah, Blake Lively's done awful things to Justin and needs to pay the price in court. We'll find it out.
And the petty didn't stop there. Taylor even hyped up Deadpool and Wolverine like it was the second coming of cinema on Instagram. Guess what? That movie just so happened to include not-so-subtle jabs at Baldoni, like the Gordon Reynolds alias and the nice pool character. Yeah, real subtle, guys. Hollywood insiders were laughing harder than Ryan's PR team trying to scrub Blake's name off Google search results.
Like, you can see that these are Ryan Reynolds' words in it, and that it is just him being a bully yet again.